Hi everyone, it's Monday, May 25th. This is the dispatch for the day. We start with Psalm 99. As the Psalms that we've seen, this is another psalm that praises God as King. In this one, it brings in Moses and Aaron, and it's just one more example of the way that the Exodus story is the template for what God is going to do in the future on Israel's behalf. They believe that when God acts decisively on their behalf, that it will follow the model of what God did in the past, namely the Exodus, right? Liberating them from the oppressive leader and becoming their king. That's what the hope is that is expressed through this psalm. And then we go to Leviticus chapter 9. Now Leviticus is one of those notorious books of the Old Testament that's just absolute miserable reading because it's lots and lots of laws, lots also of genealogies. This is not one of those passages. This is the story of, it's part of the story, it's rather long, but part of the story of Aaron being established as the, and his family being established as the priestly line of Israel. It's the Levites, that is the descendants of Levi, who are the priests of Israel, but Aaron becomes the first high priest, and his descendants then are also of that priestly order, and that's what's happening here in this story. And then we go forward to 1 Peter chapter 4. It's important to note that there are different kinds of suffering in the flesh. Peter here is urging Christians to intentionally suffer in the flesh. This is not like suffering that we don't choose, things that happen to us that are terrible. That's not the kind of suffering we're talking about. Here we're talking about engaging intentionally in discipline, choosing suffering, meaning choosing to do without things that are otherwise part of life in that first century world. And the reason we choose suffering is because Jesus suffered, right? That's the first reason, but he gives others as well, to achieve freedom from our earthly desires and to be dedicated to the will of God. For the suffering that we choose, the disciplines that we take on, those are the things that can be accomplished through discipline. That's what what Peter is saying here in this letter. One quick note in closing, this is the 50th dispatch. I've been counting. We've been at this for about 10 weeks now, which is really hard to believe. Some archaeologists recently uncovered some footage from that first dispatch, which I'll show you. Hey everybody, so I have been trying to figure out exactly how we are going to stay connected as a church family, how we're going to try to keep our heads on straight when everything seems to be so upside down these days. So this little dispatch is sort of an effort to do that. My hope is that I can do something like this just about every weekday. They tell me that that's me. I'm not sure I believe them. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for sticking with me through this season. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you again for number 51 tomorrow.